Okay, hopefully you got the rest of your inline formatting converted over, no problem. I should show you maybe what I did here. I'm just going to flip over to my browser for a second. As you can see, what I decided to do is remove quite a bit of my formatting, even though I created some new class rules to support that formatting. I might use it later on, but I decided to remove a bunch of the formatting just to kind of clean up my screen for you, just to make it a little easier to follow along. I want to shift gears now, and I want to focus on something called HTML selectors, and HTML selectors are awesome. They're one of my favorite types of CSS rules, if you will. Essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to create formatting for HTML elements. In other words, objects that are already being used throughout our documents. So in this exercise, what we're going to try and do, we might have to break this up into two exercises. Reformat the body, reformat our paragraphs, and also reformat all of our top-level headings and second-level headings. It's a lot of fun. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip back over to my code, convert some inline CSS to an HTML selector. So if I scroll down just a little bit here inside my code, you can see that I still have my inline formatting sitting on my body. That was one piece of inline formatting that I left preserved the way that it was. I'm going to take this inline formatting and, as I say, convert it to this thing called an HTML selector. So I'm going to grab all of the CSS properties here. I'm going to cut them. And then the remaining code that I have here, style equals, and then the quotes, that stuff there, I'm going to get rid of that as well. Now, if you want, you can save your code and you can flip back over to your browser and refresh. And of course, things return to sort of their default state, their default views. So I'm losing my font face there, my font family. I'm losing some of my font sizing and so on. But what I'm going to do inside my internal style sheet is I'm essentially going to go and rebuild that formatting using an HTML selector. So give yourself a little bit of room. And how these HTML selectors work is rather than typing in a period and then typing in some kind of a name, what we're going to do is we're actually going to specify the HTML element that we want to control with CSS. So in our case, it's going to be body. So I wouldn't type in dot body, and I wouldn't type in open angle bracket, body, close angle bracket. All I would do is simply type out body all by itself, just like I've done here. Throw in a space, throw in my curly brackets, and then I'm going to go and paste my CSS properties. Anything that resides inside a body element, make it this font, make it this size, and also make it this color. Okay, so go ahead and save that, back over to my browser and refresh. And now what happens is, of course, anything that falls inside the body now takes on that formatting. So there's the color. You can kind of see the color there. You can definitely see the font family and also the size change as well. So essentially what we're doing is we're controlling our body HTML element, but rather than controlling it with inline formatting down inside the HTML code, we are controlling it from our internal style sheet. And if you want, you could come along and you could throw in other properties, or you could change the values for these properties, whatever you want. For instance, maybe I'll throw on a background color here. I'm going to go background dash color, full colon space, and then I'm going to go number sign and then FFFFCC, followed by a semicolon. Save that up, flip back over to my browser and refresh, and now we have this background color applied to the body HTML element, right? It always goes back to your HTML elements inside boxes or your containers inside containers. That's how that works. So this is kind of a simple introductory to the idea of HTML selectors, but I want to show you a few more. I want to show you how to control paragraphs and also our two heading levels as well. Let's go and check that out.